just so you know. You're kicking it with K, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Vibes will flow, just so you know. You're kicking it with K.
Hey y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kicking It with K Marie. I am K Marie, of course. Howdy. Howdy. I don't know why I just said that. Howdy. Okay. Maybe because my guess is she down south. So maybe that, you know, that howdy kicked in. So if you see smoke, in the frame, those who are watching, don't be alarmed. That's my incense. Part of my self-care is I like to have a nice ambiance. After the day I had at work, it was just really busy. I was the only one there, in my section. So I was holding everything down. So it was busy. So I came home and I like my incense. I like to set a nice ambiance, and that's part of my self care. Don't forget, we are big components here on the Kicking It with K Marie podcast of taking care of yourself, self care. So don't mind me while I am doing this show. I am self caring. Okay. All right. So, those who are tuning in for the very first time, I just want to say welcome. We are a podcast for the culture. Here you'll receive advice, you'll think, you'll learn, and you'll have fun. Because I have fun. I bring on the very, very best of people. If I do say so myself, I am biased to the show to help us live this life um, the best way we can. I like to give you all information regarding mental health, big component of that. So you're always going to hear me say, don't be afraid to go see a therapist, to speak to someone that's a professional. So I'm always going to promote that until it's not a stigma in our community anymore. Okay. So today we're going to be continuing on the Family Matters series for this month, the month of March. And this week we are I'm going to talk to my single parents out there, single parents who want to date, who want to get married one day, because you can. It's because you have your little deductibles with you. My mom used to call my brother and I that, like, you're my little deductibles. I used to feel a certain kind of way, but anyway. But yeah, so you all can find love and date and do all that too. So I just want you this is an encouraging episode. So I have a friend of mine who is going to be sharing her story, and I can't wait to dive into this topic tonight. So without further ado, let me introduce tonight's guest. So Deanna Purifoy-Long, MBA, is the CEO of Christian Royaltee, LLC, a t-shirt company repping who we are in Christ. She is a wife and a mother of 2 and 3 stepkids. She is a native of Detroit, Michigan. Deanna is a graduate of Central Michigan University with a degree, a Bachelor of Science in Community Development. She also holds a master's degree in business administration from Spring Arbor University. Her professional affiliations include Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So, folks, help me welcome my girl Deanna.
Hey,
Hey,
Kay. How
hey,
you
what's
doing?
up? Good, and you?
Good.
Girl, it's like I said, the smoke is like really like going in my nose, but it smells good. It really
Oh,
smells good. So
hey, that's what's important.
yes, I like to get my Erica Badu on sometimes.
Hey, lift those spirits.
Right. So, but before we even go further, you guys, like as I mentioned, that she is the CEO of Christian. I just want to make sure I have it right. Christian Royaltee LLC, and
Mhm.
I have on a shirt. I just want to show you from her collection, Good Ground.
Thank you,
I love this shirt.
Kay.
I love this shirt.
She was my first sale.
Oh, I was. Oh,
You were my first
Yay!
sale. As soon as I hit Facebook, you were on it. That's why
I
I knew
would,
I would always support you. My first sale.
that's I like to support my
Mm-hmm.
friends who have new businesses any way I can, and it was a good it is a good product. I love teas,
Oh
so
yeah.
it was
Oh
a
yeah.
no-brainer for me.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so before we get started, why don't you tell the people where they can buy a lovely Christian Royalty t-shirt?
Wonderful. So I have a website. It's www.christianroyalty. So it's not TY, it's TEE.com. And you can go on there and make a selection. There are different prices. We have t-shirts and sweatshirts. And it's just repping who you are in Christ. Good ground, legacy, just, good,
Mm-hmm.
nice, good. I like the good quality t-shirts. So
Mm-hmm.
you get what you pay for,
You
so
do, and it's
yeah.
good quality. It's soft.
Thank you.
And I like it because it's not like it's not real busy. I
Hmm.
like the real clean look.
Simple. Yep. Yep.
I
That
love
was
that.
important to me.
Yeah, and I'm glad you sweatshirts. I'm gonna have to
I added. Yep, it was something I added. A couple of months ago, I added sweatshirts. Been doing pretty well.
I'm gonna have to get a couple. I'm gonna have to get some sweatshirts because
Yeah, go
I'm in
on it.
Michigan, so
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna get some.
on over there, girl. Get them
I am, girl.
sweatshirts.
I am. All right, y'all. So before we dive into the topic, we all know season 3 have a new segment when I have a guest on called "What in the World." And what in the
Mhm.
world basically is stories around the world, either internationally or nationally. The stories that make you like say, What in the world? So this story, I'm not sure if you heard of this, but it was like all the buzz like a few weeks ago um on social media. And I was like, you'll be the perfect person to talk about this story with. This is a trip. Listen. Okay, so it's from BuzzFeed and it says this is their heading. People are sharing what healthy marriages look like after this man upgraded his plane ticket to business class and left his wife alone in economy. This is his quote. He says, "I'm not going to miss my opportunity to sit in business class." End quote.
Mhm.
So I can't even pronounce his name. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to give him that satisfaction. But he's a 24-year-old man. When I read that, I was like, makes sense. He's a 24-year-old man and his 24-year-old wife. They were planning a trip from the U.S. to Japan for a month-long vacation. And this is what he says. He says, "We initially thought that we were going to be sitting next to each other, but I had the option to upgrade my seat to business with miles, and I did. Well, my wife is not too happy about that because she wanted to sit together on the 12-hour flight, but it's overnight. So we're going to be sleeping the whole flight. So I didn't think it mattered. I told her that and she got upset. She thinks I chose business class over her, and that's rude, apparently," he explains to the Reddit thread. So, you been married, you and hubby going to Japan or overseas, anywhere that's like a long flight, right?
Mhm.
So, the ticket agent or whatever says, "You know what, Mr. Long, we can upgrade you to business class. Just you."
Right.
Okay, just you.
Mhm.
So, how are you feeling if he takes it?
Well, first of all, Mr. Long knows better. Not having it. Not having it. He would say, "Let my wife have it," because the 24-year-old boy, that was a boy. Because a husband is supposed to take care of his wife at all costs,
Well,
and he didn't do that. He was looking for an opportunity to satisfy that audience of one, and that's himself. And it's just selfish. I mean, how long was the flight? 12 hours?
12 hours
I,
overnight.
Like, wow, can you do six and I do six? I mean,
Split it.
something. I mean, he's just like, I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity. Yeah, we wouldn't have been going to Japan. Yeah,
Right.
no, it's a
So
character flaw.
yeah, it is. And everybody, well, a lot of people, under that thread call him an a-hole. I mean, there's all
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Some women would say, and this is just me too. I am, because some women was like, well, like you, or some people would say like, oh, he should have just gave it to his wife. But because I wouldn't want to be up there by myself anyway. I want to be, if it's overnight, I
Yeah,
want to be snuggling next to my man.
together, right?
So I mean,
And what's
yeah,
the big opportunity? I mean,
right, business class. It's not like it's not even first class business.
right. I mean, come on, they're giving away contracts up there. I don't I couldn't imagine. It's weird. It's
Right. Then
weird.
you had some people, coming to his defense because it's like his logic, I guess. He was like, well, it's overnight. So we're not going to be, we're going to be sleeping.
Right.
But no, I would be pissed too. To me, she had a right to be upset.
Yep, of course. Yep. Character flaw. Yep. That was something that was a red flag that should have poked out before they got married.
Right.
Seriously. Yeah. And I was just
Girl.
telling my daughter, I mean, we were
Hmm.
just together Saturday, and I was telling her, I was like, it bothers me when I hear people say stuff like, oh, I got a type. That's fine. But you want to marry a man that's going to love you in a wheelchair.
That part.
And that's serious because those things happen. And you want somebody that's going to love you if you get 300 pounds, 600 pounds, 1,000 pounds, whether you can walk, talk, whatever, because things happen. And you
Things happen.
and I said, I get it. People was like, oh, he got to be 6'8", and he got to be 300, and he got to be this, and that's what everybody wants. That's what
Right.
everybody wants. You got to be light skinned and stuff. That stuff
Yeah.
to me. You want somebody that's gonna love you because the Bible does say, and I was telling her, it says that the husband is to love his wife like Christ loved the church. It don't say
Hmm.
nothing about wife loving her husband. It says
Hmm.
about her respecting him. And any man, I feel a good woman. If a man is doing those things that he's supposed to do, a woman just gonna fall in line and just say, "Hey, I love you, Joe 500-pound self. I love
Right.
you."
Right. Right.
Yay.
Because
That's
I
what
no,
we
I feel you
do.
because like you said, what a lot of people miss like the person for them because they're so fixated on a certain type.
That's right.
I mean, I'm not saying,
We can have
be with
preferences.
Quasimodo,
Right. We can have both of
but
our preferences, but hey, my thing is you try to get to know people.
mhm,
And that woman, obviously, he's 24.
20, yeah, they're both 24. Yeah.
He's 24. He a
Yeah.
baby. He ain't lived no life. He don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a baby. I hate to be so hard on him, but
Right.
but that's something you have to pay attention to.
It is. It is. Then
Yeah.
because I didn't really see the age until like I really like read that. I was like, 24.
Yeah, he's a
It makes
baby.
some sense.
Yeah, he's a baby. I did some selfish things at 24, so I understand.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So dating with being single
Okay.
with children or child and wanting to date and be married. How did that look for you?
Um, well, so as you know in my bio, I have two biological and three step.
Mhm.
So the marriage that I'm in currently is marriage number two for me.
Mhm.
So in between, well, before I got married, the first time I had kids, I had two children.
Okay.
And so dating was, you had to be very selective
Mhm.
because I have a daughter, of course, I ain't
Mhm.
want no stuff
No
and,
perverts.
gotta,
Yeah.
yeah. So nobody, I really and truly didn't introduce him to anybody really quickly. I'm gonna give you an example. When you told me about it, I thought about this example. I was dating this one guy who we would be together on, on Saturday, like all day.
Okay.
Breakfast, we go shopping, dinner, the whole night. We're together all day, every Saturday for about 6 months. And so one day he says to me, now mind you, I was single, but I had children, but my kids would go to their respective places,
Yeah.
on the weekend.
Yeah.
Daddy's house, my mother's house, so I could do my thing. I was
Right.
young. I had kids young too, by the way.
Right.
So I'm dating him. And so 6 months in, he says to me, it's my daughter's birthday. I look like, sir. Um,
So you didn't know he had a kid.
I didn't
Mm.
even know he had a kid. Now, mind you, I'm with my kids all week and Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we're doing things. Now, mind you, I haven't even, and something was like, I haven't even introduced my kids to him because I was just like, we
Yeah.
hanging. And so then after that, I had to dump him because my thing is, oh, so the question was, why you didn't tell me you had kids?
Right.
Oh, well, I just got one daughter. She's 8. Her mama don't let me see her. Oh, God. That's the
Mm.
thing that drives me nuts
Mm.
because, I am the mother of two. And I know what I had to go through with my kids' fathers.
Okay.
And so the whole child support court, the whole 9 yards. Nobody in this world is going to keep me from seeing my kids.
Right.
Not a judge, not a mama, baby mama, none of that. So when guys say that, that right there
It's a turn off.
turn off totally. Plus, I had got so deep in the child support, I was on in a support group for Jennifer Granholm for child
Mm.
support. Being on an advisory group because I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
yeah, because I'm like, he ain't paying, and I don't understand why he not paying. And so I had got so deep in the letter writing, got my on and
Right.
write letters and got a letter and was like, would you like to join the advisory board because we need help. And so when he said that, and I was like, bro, don't you think that every woman wants her child to be in a safe place, but they also want a break?
Yeah.
They want a break. So the simple fact that I have children and you want to meet my children and you have children, yeah, you have a child, and the simple fact that I haven't heard her
Mm.
mentioned her name, and he was a cool, I mean, we had, and so I'm thinking, okay, next level. And I'm so glad that God revealed that to me
Mm-hmm.
because, my children are the most important thing in
Mm-hmm.
my life. So after I was done with him, I was just like, I kind of hunkered down, like, okay, gotta be more careful,
Right. Got to be
gotta be
more careful.
more careful because it's like, and I'm going back to the conversation 6 months ago. I could have sworn I asked a question, or, I don't know. I'm
Mm.
thinking, even if there should have been some conversation or mention of the little girl this
Yes.
whole time, you
Something. Yes.
something,
I mean, if
yeah,
yeah, that would
something.
'cause I don't have any kids.
Mhm,
So, but like if I'm dating someone,
mhm,
um, like in the beginning or whatever, and then he
yeah,
doesn't tell me he had a child until later. Yeah, that I'll be like, okay, pause.
right,
Like, do this child not mean a lot to you? I mean,
exactly. So that was the thing. So after I was done with him, then I met my first husband.
okay.
The thing that attracted me to my first husband was that he had two twin boys, and he had them all the time. So he had
Mm,
basically had custody of them, and that was attractive to me. So I
mhm.
was just like, okay, this is what I need, because I have kids and I have my kids all the time. So I kind of need somebody who we can kind of work this thing out together. So we dated and we did kid stuff because he had his kids all the time.
Mhm.
He couldn't get babysitters, and it was just like, okay, he's a cool guy. So I introduced him early, and my kids.
How early?
Um, I'm gonna say probably like maybe month 3.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, like month 3. Yeah, like
Okay.
month 3. Because he was like, like I said, he was cool. And then
Yeah.
this is the thing. So, when we would get together on Saturday, my kids are gone. His kids are there.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, he didn't have
He didn't have a support system.
no,
Okay.
not like that. So then eventually so then we got
Yeah.
married and things like that. So and then my kids when they met my the twins fell in love with them. So it was just like, we clicked as a family.
How
Yeah.
old were how old were your kids when you introduced them to your first husband?
4 and 9.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 and 9, and his twins were 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So they were one
Yeah,
or
so I can
two.
see him,
Yeah.
him
Yep.
not yes. I
Yep.
can see them being there all the
Hmm.
time.
Yep. They
Yeah.
were like 1 or 2. So yeah, very early. So when they were there, I'm thinking to myself like, we can't go anywhere. So if we go somewhere, we can have kids in the back seat, and I
Yeah.
might as well have mine. You know what I mean? Because I'm
Right.
out here trying to find a babysitter so I can date. But I got kids with me. I tell mother, just come on, mom, bring the kids back.
Mhm.
So but it was I had you have the thing is that had to be selective. Um and I really haven't had the how can I say it? The his kid's mother, real cool, you
Okay.
know,
Oh, that's
um,
good. So no
real
no drama.
yeah, real cool because she just was a real cool girl. Wasn't nothing where she loved me, I loved her. I took care of her kids. You know what I'm saying? I had so mind you, I told you I had 2 kids,
Yeah.
and so when me and my daughter's father broke up, he had let some girl do my baby's hair, right?
Mhm.
He didn't think he was just like, oh, I don't know how she gonna act. And I don't know. I told him, I said, tell her, I said, thank you. That's just one less thing I gotta
Right,
do. I
right.
am mother. Come on now. Come on, mother. That's trying to I don't
Right.
understand how these women
Look, as
struggle.
long as if it's cute, hey,
It was
go
cute. She
go
did a
at
good
it.
job. Like, can she do it in 2 weeks? Can I put it down for 2 weeks, please? I needed help. And because I wanted to be able to go out, send my daughter out with her father. I'm not going to try to, you know, call some wedge. I'm not gonna act, oh no, you taking that hair down. For what? It's Sunday.
Yeah.
School tomorrow. Okay. No, it's nice. I like the beads that match your uniform, all of that stuff.
Right. Sure. I'm surprised you didn't
Yeah.
give her you didn't give her a
Look,
tip.
she on point. Who is she? Don't dump her, please. Shoot.
Like, keep this
Please.
one. Keep this one.
Please. Yeah,
Uh,
I go through I just I the and this misconception that men don't take care of their kids. Every man in my family does.
mm,
So I just didn't grow up. I grew up in a 2 parent household. So I was the one out there wilding with 2 kids with no marriage. So I had a great support system.
yeah.
So I was able to date and hang, and my parents really kind of filled in the gaps for me,
That's good. That was good
you
that you
know.
had that support system. And I
Yeah.
feel like you because I'm in my 40s, so of course, like it will be it will be like a unicorn of a man if he didn't have kids, you know,
Right.
in my age range. So and I find too, I find it very attractive when a man when he has like full custody. Like, oh, you the
Yes,
judge saw fit to give you okay. This says something about him.
it did. It
Mhm.
did. It did. Only unfortunately that was the only thing I was looking at. That's why
Oh,
we divorced. That's why we divorced now. That's the only thing I was looking at is how he loved his
I
kids.
can't.
And not how he can love Deanna.
Yeah.
So yes, but I played second fiddle to the kids, which I didn't mind because I had
Okay.
kids too, so I understood. But our family meshed well, you
Hmm.
know. But we just called it quits and
Hmm.
end up, dating again. Kids,
Okay,
of
wait.
course, were
Go
older.
back. Go back.
hmm
So how old were the children when you all called it quits?
2015. So his twins were 15. And so my kids were 20 and yeah, so 20.
Oh,
And they're,
so he's been there for a long while. So
yeah, we were
how
together 15 years.
15? Wow. So
Mhm.
how did that when you all got, a divorce, how did that like impact like your kids and
Mm.
his kids? Is he still in their life or how's that working?
Okay, so after we divorced, we okay, so him and my son are like this,
Okay.
because my son is almost 30. And so, they talk a lot. So, my daughter, she don't have nothing to do with him because she saw through him a long time ago. And so the twin boys, we talk as much as we can. They
Okay.
are they're 21. We text, I send gifts, and I just got text from one of them yesterday, like, I really love you. I really appreciate you. I haven't forgotten about you.
Oh,
But every Christmas I try to, birthdays,
yeah.
because I raised them. And then the thing is that I didn't really see their mom
Mm,
a lot when the boys were, because like I said, dad had custody. So when I saw her prime time, because we were not together when they went to prime. And so when I saw her prime time, we hugged so much. She was like,
mm,
oh my gosh, she was like, girl, you took care of my babies. She was like,
mm,
that's why I could sleep at night knowing that those kids are going to be okay because you had a hand in making sure they had everything they need. And I was just like, we got to work together in that. We got to
yeah,
work together. It's no hard feelings, no animosity, because
yeah,
guess what? I had somebody try to pull that on me before. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I can't, even though this is my husband, you know, people, men tell you anything. You always have to, there's always three sides to a story.
yeah,
Oh, saying stuff like, I don't know, remember what the reasoning was why he had custody or was obtaining custody when I met him. But she was just a great person and
yeah.
still is, and the thing is that I knew that I always wanted to be that person. And like for the boys prime, one of the send-offs were at my house and I was married to my new husband. So I just always knew when we got a divorce or when we separated, I was never going to let anything that he did come between. We've met a couple of times with my husband, went to the boys' graduation, all of that, because
Mhm,
I'm the middle person
mhm.
and I want to make sure that everything is smooth and comfy, cozy. But of course, I'm clear with my husband first. Like, baby,
Exactly.
anywhere I go, do you want to go? Okay, I think one of the graduations he didn't go. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll go," and he was real cool about it because I always wanted to make sure that he felt included and important. And even when the boys came over, they know him. They call him Big Dave, and
Aw.
they make sure that he, that he even will cash app him some money sometime, make sure
Mhm.
that they're good, and that's why I'm married to him is because
Okay.
I had to, yeah, and that's actually, and I know you know the story, but
Yeah.
I end up marrying my daughter's father. We were apart for about 20 years. And he moved away out of state and grew up. And I moved and I stayed in Michigan and grew up. And
Yeah.
we both, developed a relationship with the Lord and just, grew up. And my thing is, I I'm gonna tell you how it kind of all started.
Mhm.
My brother gonna hate me if he hear this. So my brother, my brother had kids with two different women,
Mhm.
and so I was auntie. So early on, I learned how to navigate those waters because he was just like, "Oh, you going with your auntie? You with your auntie? Going with your auntie?" He would pick him up, drop him off to me, but I was always navigating the waters with his baby mamas, and I knew early on that baby mamas can play games,
Mm,
and I saw it firsthand. Not saying my brother was a saint, but
yeah.
I know as a family what he couldn't do, we did.
Okay.
And I always wanted to make sure that all the kids that were in my circle, felt loved, as their aunt or as their stepmom. I always wanted to make sure that, everybody felt as
Yes.
part of the family. That was
Yeah.
always important to me because, like I said, my family is close knit.
Yeah.
All of those men, they took care of their kids. We all met at grandma's house. We was all there. So that
Yeah.
was important. That was important. But nowadays you gotta take your time. Um, I kind of suggest people kind of want to stay away from baby mamas. I don't know. I don't
Embrace it.
know.
Embrace it, huh?
That's what I say because
Mm-hmm.
you guys are gonna have some kind of interaction
Mm-hmm.
with each other. It's that's blended families are.
I think, it coming from someone who doesn't have the kids, I
Mhm.
think it's I mean, or somebody else who a single parent can probably feel this way too. But I think it's gotten baby mama gotten like a stigma to it
Mhm.
because a lot of times it's associated with drama.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of times, um, especially if if the woman's still trying to have want her hooks in her child's father.
that's right. I've seen that.
So, yes, girl, we know we all seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So I think that's where it comes from, like that stigma, because I mean, who really wants to go through that?
Nobody. It's murky waters, and but too, that guy also has to make sure that he's setting the standard because if you flopping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that's going to
Hmm.
cause a lot of instability. Oh, you was just with me last week. Now you with
Right,
her, and then you want to introduce her to our kids. So
right.
it's just
Yeah, it is on him too, because he
it
could be
is on
stringing her
him.
along.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you gotta. That's why it's important to get to know people, especially because even and I remember our pastor saying this. With blended families and you blending a family, you got to get to know each other 1 or 2 years. And that's real because you got to know the person's dynamic and how they, treat this person and how they operate in a setting, kind of like with me, with, the prom thing and just the whole meshing of the family. Everybody not going to always get along, but guess what? I don't get along with everybody at work.
True.
I don't. But
Yeah.
guess what? When I go to work, I'm going to make sure that I'm grown.
You put on that hat.
It's like, all right. So when you're dealing with kids and you love this man or you love this woman, you got to do what you have to do. Put yourself aside because
Hmm.
that's what love is, anyways. You have to put yourself aside sometimes to say, oh, yeah, I don't like the way you looked at her when she came to the car. You know, so you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. I don't like she held your hand like 2 seconds too long.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Getting your Tyler Perry on. So, he always got baby mamas in there acting up.
Always.
Stop it, Tyler.
That
You know,
and the men wearing them horrible wigs.
that's right. I think they improved that new one. Medea had her little what's they call it? Those lace fronts.
Yeah.
They improved it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
so
he probably tired of people saying like,
you got
Tyler, what's up with
to
them
like you
wigs?
got too much money to be digging through a
Right.
bag, right? Digging through a bag from Wish, putting it on those people's heads. Tyler Perry. Yep.
But yeah, but see, I think I don't know. I think I'm not gonna say I'm cut. I am cut from a different cloth.
Hmm.
But because I am a child of a single parent. And so I can kind of like put myself in that child's shoes, because I know, like, I would never want the guy I'm dating, I would never want his child to feel like he's choosing me more over him or her. I never want his child to feel like they're losing, their dad, but instead, like, gaining.
Gaining. That's why
So
it's important to have the buffet style, family style arrangement where we're all included. Tell your mama to come on. Because I feel like them getting to know you 2 weekends out of the month is, I mean, can they really? Can
right,
they
because
really
most
get to
of,
know you?
if we're being realistic, like if there's
Hmm.
people watching this
Hmm.
who fits this topic, single parent, 9 times out of 10, that say, if you're dating a man with kids, 9 times out of 10 he does not have custody.
Correct.
So he is going to have them. It depends on if it's like half and half, or he just see them on the weekends, whatever. So that is different, I think, from someone who has full custody. What do you think?
Yo, most definitely. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's easier for guys because, they may only have their kids a couple of times, a month. Or, before a woman who has full custody of her kids all the time,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to navigate these murky waters, you know, of this, rat infested dating pool.
Girl, what I heard something on some show. They was like, it's piss in the pool. But
Right.
I'm like, dang.
Right. Somebody left a turd in the pool. Like, y'all can.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
And that's why I thank God that I, I'm definitely blessed to, be able to share time and space with a man that just so happened to be my daughter's father. And I know she's navigating that new relationship because like I said, he lived out of town. So they were able to reconnect and things like
Hmm.
that. But
So how
um,
was your relationship? Because you said he has. So does he have three?
no, so my first husband has the twin boys,
Okay.
and then my current husband has a daughter.
Okay.
Hmm.
So let's flip it. So like you. So how was that for you? Trying to develop your relationship with his daughter.
Okay, so I met her 20 years ago, 25, well, however, long time ago. Um, Not difficult. Not difficult because she was, I think when we got back together, she was like 23.
Oh, okay.
Yep, older, just had a baby.
Okay.
So it wasn't difficult at all. It was, they were still trying to, like I said, he lived out of town. So he was kind of reconnecting, with his daughters, kind of like at the same time. So, I love her. I try to
Mhm.
make sure that they have everything that they need, best that I can do. When she called me, I try to, give her good advice. I keep it at a friend level
Okay.
at all times because, like I said, she's grown. She's 27 years old. Keep it at a
Mhm.
friend level. You're not gonna get no bashing from me. You know, um, I want to make sure that you have, all the good advice that you can have. What about this? Instead of, because she'll come, with some ideas.
Mhm.
What about this? Or try it this way. So I just knew early on I was not trying to be her mother, but I
Right.
wanted to be her friend.
Right.
Because she's grown.
Yeah.
She's
See,
grown.
and that and,
Mhm.
and that's I think that that probably makes it a little easier too when they are grown.
Hmm.
So I know it's probably some people watching and they have like little ones or teenagers.
Hmm.
But because you when your first husband, because you had little ones,
Correct.
right? And he did as well. So
Hmm.
how did that look going back to that relationship?
Hmm.
Because I know everybody is different. You have
Hmm.
to um like as far as introducing your child to the person that you're in a relationship with. 'Cause me personally, I think it has to be like at a level where I'm like, okay, we're in a relationship, like we're not
Right.
playing,
Right.
because you don't want to bring I don't know, because it's just like you don't want to introduce your child to someone
That won't be there next week.
prematurely,
Correct.
and that person, probably don't want that either, because you want to make sure as the person that's being introduced to the child too, it's like, we want to make sure that we are on that level as well,
Hmm.
because I don't want to. It's just like you don't want to have your child get used to someone and then they're out, and vice versa. It's like, I don't want to have to get used to someone, that I grew to love, and
Right.
then, something happens.
Right. And that's
So,
all about communication, though, because, that's all about you guys meshing and being on the same page. And,
mhm,
and you- when you're in a blended relationship, you cannot play things by ear. Things have to be planned out well, because like when, especially if you're dating, things happen. One side may have kids, the other one doesn't. They have to be a
mhm,
little bit patient. This child may be sick. We have to,
mhm,
drop our day. So there's a lot of dynamics that go into it, and you'll know. And so, you guys may come up and say, hey, I got kids, but I don't I don't feel comfortable introducing you to them until we get here, or
mhm,
maybe 6 months in. Or, like a lot of people are just dating multiple people now, and they are aware of it. And once we become exclusive, then I may introduce you to to Jeremy or something. So
right,
it's just it's just about you guys having that that form of communication, because
mhm,
you're gonna have to have that, because if you don't, it's the communication is the most important. Well, it is. It's the most important
mhm.
thing.
I
It's
agree.
being open and honest, and
Mhm,
knowing that that person understands.
mhm,
That they understand that my kids come first, and
mhm,
things like that. Now, initially, my kids did come first, but once I got married, we worked together. Like I said, kids came second.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah, y'all can't sleep in here no more. You gotta go.
Right, right, right.
So things have changed. Your mother got married, so 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 it's you gotta communicate with that person, and make sure you guys on the right page, and you guys become exclusive. All of those things. All of those things had to be discussed. Kids, money, how we gonna raise these kids? Can I whoop your kids? Do you whoop your kids? You do timeout. Oh, I can't put my hands on your kids. So it's like you gotta,
Mhm.
because the situation may come where, hey, I need you to watch Jeremy while I go to the grocery store. But when you went to the grocery store, Jeremy was acting up, and I had to put it down. So
Right.
you gotta have you gotta have that
Yeah.
conversation early, because when you're in a relationship, life is fast. Number one, and then we're busy, and we have to make sure that we are working together. And like you said, at this level, at the 40 level, everybody got kids,
Pretty much.
basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody, and so it's difficult waters to navigate, but I can tell you this, the reward is awesome. I love all of my children. Um, step mine, because I made it a point where I never wanted to, treat them, especially when I got adults. We kick it, like I said, like friends. And because sometimes, like, especially these new kids, they don't listen to nothing. They don't listen to that
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So I'm not going to give you my Jesus speech. I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to tell you what I went through, what you should do. And then ultimately it's up to you. Mom and
Mm-hmm.
dad are there to, you know,
Help guide and
help and
yeah,
guide you. And that's really all you can do is, help and guide. And
and
if
catch you
you,
if you do fall, if you
yep,
do decide not
yep,
to listen,
yep,
but you fall, we still there.
that's right. Because my stepdaughter will call me outside of her father, and we will talk and we'll have conversations, and other kids too. And I wanted to make our relationship special because
Mm-hmm.
daddy's gonna always be that, that authority. But I mean, of course, you stay on the same page. You don't,
Yes.
but I always wanted to establish a relationship. Like you can come and talk to me about anything.
Yes.
You know what
Open
I'm
door
saying?
policy.
I
Yeah.
never wanted to be judgmental. I had a baby. I was pregnant at 16.
Yeah.
I had a baby at 17. You know, my mother had my kids on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
nothing, yes, I may, go to church and things of that nature, but I, you know, I know what's going on out here. No
Yeah.
judgment. No
None.
judgment. Been there, done that. And that's the
Yep.
thing is that you want to establish that relationship early with them. That's just that's just me. It worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I it worked for me, but it's all about you two, the two parents, the three parents, solidifying and being on the same page. And
That's
two, you got to make sure that you ask the question, how does Jeremy's mom feel about you introducing? Because
mm-hmm.
sometimes people feel a certain type of way. Um, I have one person that said, "Oh, we're not going to." Somebody I knew, they said, "Oh, we're not going to introduce our significant other until we let the other person know." And then we want to make sure that they're comfortable about it. And of course, one person violated and didn't keep their agreement,
Mm.
So it's just a whole nother. So it's like you want to be able to communicate because, like I said, eventually you're going to want to, that person is going to be weaved into your life, whether you like it
Mm-hmm.
or not. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I got that. All right.
Mhm.
That's some good stuff. So
Yeah.
single parents, you can get out there, date.
Yes.
And like Deanna said, though, and this should go without saying, but it does. Some people don't follow this, but be selective.
Very.
I mean,
Very.
again, you hear so many stories about this horrible stories in the news about somebody's significant other doing something to their child. It's horrible,
Right.
you know. But yeah, definitely be selective.
Red
Eh,
flags are real.
Yeah.
Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to those red flags early, early on. Well, if
Yeah.
this person is violent, are they, how do they talk to service people?
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay attention to those things because that's how they're going to treat you. That's how they're going to treat your children.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have you sitting in economy class and then business class. You
Ah,
got to watch that.
like oh boy, right,
Yeah, you got to watch stuff like that. Seriously. You got to pay
right.
attention to those red flags, especially, like I said, I had kids young. It
Mm-hmm.
was red flags everywhere.
Mm.
So, I'm making decisions at 16. But now, when you're 30 and 40, you have to know that this person, you can't change people.
No.
They ignorant, they gonna stay ignorant. There's nothing you
Right.
can do.
And it's something my a good friend of mine told me when she was dating because she had a son, and this was after her divorce, and she didn't like the fact that because he had a child too, that he treated his child, you know, better than
Mhm.
he treated hers. Like if you're gonna come together, you gotta try to do it, be equal in that. But she said he like just ignored her son, and she was like, nope, can't
Yep.
do that. So those who you're listening, you may, and if the other person that you're dating have a child too, see how they interact with your child, how they put, if they put their child way up here and then yours way down here,
Yeah.
so
And then two people do that too out of, they treat their kids a certain type of way. Sometimes out of guilt, they feel guilty because they, left them or whatever. It's weird. It's weird. You can't. How are you gonna live in a house with a wife and kids and you have a favorite? Oh, Jeremy, I came home with you some gym shoes. Oh, sorry, Jamaica, I didn't get you any. Like,
right,
how do you
right.
even? I mean,
Look, right.
what kind of
Having
human
little
being are
Jamaica in
you?
the corner crying.
Right. How, what kind of human being are you? Jeremy got a happy meal. I want one too. Like, why?
Right.
How are we sleeping next to these fools? Like, come
Right.
on.
Yeah.
How, come on. This is a person you sleeping next to that's dogging your child out? No way.
I know that's right.
There's no way. Yeah, that's why it takes time. Everybody trying to rush in. Fools rush
Mhm.
in. And that's why you have to take time. I did not. That's why I'm married twice. So
Mm.
I did not. So you have to take your time and get to know people. There's so many people out here. You got to get to know them. Find you a babysitter, get with another single mom who is in the dating game too, and you guys swap weekends. You watch her kids 2 weekends out the month, and you guys swap while she date you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And get
Mhm.
together and get to know these people
I like
outside
that.
of restaurants, and their quality time is not a movie theater. You can't get to know anybody in a movie
No.
theater. You know what
No.
I'm saying?
You have to actually talk.
Yeah, I'm taking you to Chuck E. Cheese. Let's see how you handle these kids at Chuck E. Cheese because they're a bit rough.
Like, come on, we going to the
Take
trampoline
one at
place.
Chuck
Come on,
E.
let's.
Cheese. I want to see how you handle these kids at Chuck E. Cheese. 'Cause I'm telling you, you don't see. But yeah, you gotta, yeah. So my thing is, as a single parent, we have to work together. We gotta also give each other grace and the benefit of the doubt. We are all, navigating these waters. Even though I'm not with my ex-husband, I still interact with his ex and then their children and then the thing is my children learn from me that my
Mhm.
mother loved these kids and she took them in, like they were her own.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean? I wanted my kids to be able to say one thing you can say about my mother is that she loved you and she
Mhm.
took care of you. That's one thing one thing she can say. I'm not If I come in the house, I'm not gonna come in the house with two pairs of shoes. I have to come in the house with
Right.
four pair.
Right.
Yeah, no. But if I can't afford four, I'm not getting them.
Exactly.
It is what it is. My kids never felt, and we talked about it. They never felt that I treated them any indifferent because I wanted to know. Check me
Mhm.
because I may, me and my kids been together a long time before
Yeah.
I got married. So I could have, I wanted to make sure I had all four of them. And and even when we dated, I ended up getting a minivan. I had two kids, you know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
went from having a Lexus to like, oh, let me get a minivan and got a minivan because I had
Okay.
four kids.
Okay,
Yeah.
minivan.
Mhm.
You was committed.
I
Okay.
was. Yes, I was. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Deanna.
You're
This was
welcome.
really good. I know it's going to help a lot of people out there who
Mhm.
are in the middle of dating, who are thinking about dating, and that you have children or a child. The biggest takeaway that I heard from you is take your time, be selective,
Mhm.
and just love on them,
Yes.
love on those kids like they're your own.
Love on them like they your own. They'll
Mhm.
never forget you, and the benefit is also worth it. And then, like I said, always incorporate or include the other party. They may not come, they may not show up, but
Mhm.
always include them
Just extend that.
best you can.
Yeah.
You got Yep, best you can. It's not always available, but try to include them best you can.
Oh, thank you. See
Mhm.
y'all. See, I brought her on here for a reason. She is a sweet, loving person. Okay, She
Thank you,
is.
Kay.
You are welcome. So again, y'all, hit her up, buy some t-shirts from her. Some again, give out the information. I know you have a Instagram page for your
Hmm.
t-shirts and
Yes.
Facebook page. Give that out.
Yep.
I will have that in the description of this episode so they can see that too. But just give
All
that
right.
out for
Thank
those
you.
who are listening.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yep. Like I said, I have 5 kids. So, so www.christianroyalty, not tytee.com. And you can go on there, t-shirts and sweatshirts.
And you do have what's your Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram is Christian Royalty, and Instagram is the same.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So both handles, Christian Royalty. That's
Mm-hmm.
TEE as in t-shirt T.
Yep.
And hit them up. It's some good quality shirts. I love
Mm-hmm.
them. I'm gonna be taking a look when I close out of here and look at them sweatshirts.
Thank you,
So
Kay.
thank you so much, Deanna. And again, you all, whatever platform that you are listening to us on, go ahead and subscribe. If you are watching us, you can watch us on our Instagram page, on our Facebook page. The handles are at K Marie Podcast, and our YouTube. I always forget about YouTube, but YouTube as well. Kicking it with K Marie, and we will see you all next. I will see you next week with another topic in the Family Matters series, and if my special guest, if I can get her to record before next week, then you're gonna be in for a treat. Be
Yippee.
in for a treat. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Again, Deanna, thank you, girl. I really appreciate the nuggets, the wisdom that you threw out there. And thank you so
You're welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. So I will see everyone next week. Bye.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Turn up the radio. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. You're here now.